Do you want to know the most essential farms in Dead Island 2? Or at least the ones we've discovered thus far? Well, have I got a video for you. I found 3 farms that are fantastic. One is an amazing XP farm, another one is pretty decent for weapon farming, and another is absolutely amazing for getting zombie parts and just overall resources that you're gonna need. So let's get into it. The first farm, I think I have to give the crown. It is the Story Military Base Farm, is what we could call it. Unfortunately, this farm is tied to, of course, the storyline, which is this farm's greatest strength, because when you die in a story mission, you regain your durability and everything gets reset. You get your medkits back, you get the whole 9 yards, so you don't have to worry about constantly repairing your gear. It'll be tip-top, so mod your weapons. This will go a lot faster if you have some deadly mods on your weapons. It'll be good to go, and you'll make a ton of money by doing what this farm does the best, which is picking up a lot of weapons and then selling them, as well as just generating a ton of resources like cloth that you can also sell. It's really good for that, and it's decent for XP. But how you get access to this is when you get to Venice Beach. This is what it's going to look like. When you get to this place, know that you're close, work your way forward until you get access to the military base. You can't miss it. And when you start to have to pop a gate, this specific gate that you're seeing in the background, you're good to go. Simply put, push through the zombies as much as you possibly can with your build. Be as chaotic and as ruthless as you possibly can. If you die, you're okay. You're going to be doing that anyway. Now, I would suggest looking out for frenzy weapons and main weapons. They are so good. Two-handed also seems pretty nuts. Now, the simplicity of this farm is what makes it so good. So as soon as you get to the end point, you'll get the text that eventually appears, says kill them all. That is your cue to die. Hit a gas pile, throw a Molotov at your feet, acid bomb, whatever. And then you'll be reset with all of your durability ready to rip. If you had a lot of medkits going into that, you'll have them as well. Everything is reset except all of the things that you gain. And therein lies the power of this. So then you would make your way to the tower. If you go all the way up to it, there's a little bit of traps, but if you make your way all to the top, you'll be able to get access to a safe room, and of course there's a vendor right there. She only sells guns, and guns have been a real letdown in this game, but except for like high sniper rifle, assault rifle things. Anyway, sell all of your gear and sell all of your excess resources. I don't think people realize how much money is in your excess cloth that you're going to be picking up droves of. So that basically concludes this amazing and probably king of farms. The only thing that sucks about this is it is a story farm, which, if you guess, yes, how you progress and you get cards and you do all of these things. You get card slots, you get access to legendary treasure map quests that give you legendary weapons, is exactly past this point almost, right around when you get to the pier. Anyways, yeah, so it's good, but you're kind of holding yourself back if you continue to do it, which is a little shitty. But I got some better farms for you, so you're good. Maybe not better, but like so, okay, they're good, they're passable. The second farm we're going to be talking about is an amazing farm that I don't think gets enough credit. It is also the one that you can do if you made a little oopsie and accidentally did one of the very first farms that the community found, which is essentially clickbait. It's one of the first ones you get back. The level should be dark. You go to the top of this influencer house, and of course there's a girl who wants you to do special tasks, those tasks being burn zombies, throw water on them, those kinds of things, kick them off the roof, and if you don't do that, then they just keep throwing zombies at you. That's great, but the quantity of zombies that they throw at you aren't that grand. So if you can wait till after you do the story missions and you get to the pier, which is kind of the, you'll see, you'll know you're close when you see a giant Ferris wheel in the distance in a dark night. You'll be close. Continue on until you finish up that thing. You awake on a beach and it's nice and sunny. That's when you'll have access to this thing. Go back to the Ferris wheel place. There should be a girl standing on the roof. If you've done the previous mission clickbait, you have this one. This one, lots more zombies spawn, and there'll be a lot more different types of zombies, because at this point in the story, they'll start throwing zombies at you. Granted, you still don't see that many special types of zombies, so this is not a very good special type of zombie farm, but it is a great XP farm, like the best I've seen. Tons of onslaughts of zombies, and if you happen to have a Fury build, you can 10x your XP gain. Not only that, but you don't have to always make a pit stop, repair your weapons, and come back. You can just go bare knuckles, break a weapon. You'll now have access whenever you switch to that weapon to access bare knuckles, and then you can just go to town. And if you get access to a special card, which basically gives you unlimited Fury, which looks like this, but note, some people get that early, some people get that from doing side quests, some people get that from doing a legendary quest. I'll explain how I got it in a minute. But to keep this short and simple, you just go to this location, activate the quest, and do not do what the quest says. If you get to if you accidentally been farming for an hour or some crazy thing, you're just getting in the zone when you're watching a podcast, and you accidentally get to 14 zombies electrocuted, just save and quit. Nothing will be messed up. You'll arrive right there where you were, except it will reset and it'll say flip on the switch again, and you'll have to get those zombie kills again, which is just a nice safety brace. If you know you're starting to get close to that number, you don't want to touch that number. She probably will ask you more things to do, but better you just keep it far away. And I like to hug the right hand wall and just go do drive-bys within Fury mode. I think everyone's Fury mode is pretty good, and if you just use bare knuckles, you're good. If you are going to try to be as efficient as possible and use your bare knuckles to try to hit enemies and be efficient, aim for their knees and get as close as humanly possible without getting in front of them. So side strafe and push into them in a weird way, and then just start dropping bombs at their lower half. Okay, and then the reason why is because you'll sometimes hit 3 times with your punch, and that will stack a lot with your Fury, getting your Fury back instantly. Alright, so now's a good time to mention that I've had a Fury card that I just clicked in my head that you probably may not have. It's called Brawler. Eventually you'll have access to this. Essentially, it's a thing where whenever you contact and just hit, not kill, hit an enemy, you get a chunk of Fury back. So if you have a fast attacking weapon, your Fury can come back in seconds. And it's just really, really good. So that is what's giving me access to recover so much Fury, is just that mod. Every single time we just contact with a fast attacking weapon, i.e. our bare fists, or with our broken weapon fists, whatever you want to call it, we can basically just get our rage back that way. But there's another perk called Ravenous that I've been talking about. I showed it briefly, but basically it just extends the duration of your rage. You can go longer. There are also a bunch of other factors with mutagen, with the rage, where you can apply greater auto phage or whatever it's called. It's a little card with a melting skull. You guys can see in my build right here that I have at least 3 of them, which gives you a lot of damage and heal from your rage form, with some losses in terms of healing outside of killing zombies. But I think it's worth it. But another reason why this is oh so good is because when you kill enemies in rage, I believe you get way more XP. So it stacks on top of each other. It's the best deal ever. You get an unending durability, a ton of damage, a ton of attack speed, and you basically can do this back to back. So good. And you get more XP. Go team. The issue with this is that I don't know where you get Fury mods, because everyone's access point for cards is different. Nevertheless, here is how I got my Fury card, the one that when you hit a kill, you get Fury charge in real time. So this is how I got it, as well as just the overall farm in action and some more stuff on top that I couldn't help but yell at you about. But mainly, again, even if we just let our thing run out here, so if I kill these enemies and just start swinging, so I'm burning my rage, now we have no rage, so then you just start punching, circling, go for the legs. That way you hit twice, because you'll hit their calf. You can bust them off like this, it's not that bad. You can aim for their legs, so you'll hit 3 or 4 times with one enemy. And electricity is fine, especially if you're a mutant like me who heals from kills. And we're there, and we got it. And you honestly could just do that without the Fury stacking card that I keep telling you guys about, the one that's if you get a kill, you extend your Fury. But the ground pound one that also extends your Fury, I think, is also pretty good. Although none of them are needed, you could just punch forever if you wanted, or even just repair your weapon. It's just a little bit of a hoof all the way there, and I just can't be bothered. So yeah. Also, I like to listen to a podcast and just completely zone out, so that kind of works for the best, And then we'll just go on a tear. This one. Catch up. Just tiny little baby legs, can't move when meleeing. There we go. And boom. One whole row, and then by the time you look back, enemies have spawned in, and you can start going to town once again. Do some ground pound when you see some enemies stack up like that, and everyone is dead. Golly! And you can also jump. Well, you'll just fall in love with Fury mode here, and also let it get a little played out with this farm. But also, how I got access to the Fury extending mod, I think is different from everyone. I'll tell you guys how I got it, but I think it's different for everyone, just because the way cards are given to you, I think it's based on completing challenges, doing side quests, and doing certain story beats. But it's different for each character, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be. But in this place right here in the pier, if you go and kill a zombie that's that's on right beside the car. So there's going to be a beefy guy with a big tall boy who, has a name above his head. Kill him, he'll drop a series of quests, and then you can just Google that quest name. It's actually not that hard. It has you going to basically just follow these cues, like going over here to the hot dog stand, going into this alley over here, and then going over here, I think, somewhere, and then I think it has you leading one more place. Oh, right, all the way behind this, right behind this fuse message here, and then I believe you go all the way to the back of this right here, and then that's where you get the weapon itself. It's a legendary weapon, so it's pretty cool. It's a little dagger, but that's where I got my fury mode, but I hear other people have got it before, like way before I did. And I don't remember where I got Brawler, I'm so sorry. There's also various fury buffs that you could use that give you like elemental damage. Don't want to spoil too many things there, but there are fun ones there. Equip those if you want to be more efficient. Although I've showed here in the gameplay where you can just go from, if you don't even have the special fury card that gets you more fury when you get kills, you can still manage. I did like 3 or 4 attempts by just using my fury, punching the shit out of an enemy, popping my fury again as if I didn't have the stacking gain, and just rinsing on the normal timer. And it worked great. But this, I think, is the best XP farm because you're using so much fury, because there's a consistent drip feed of enemies so that you can continue to use fury. It drops weapons, it drops some base zombie parts, so to me this is the best alternative from the OP as hell story quest. But also, this will be there forever. You don't ever have to complete this quest if you don't want to. I'm sure there's a missing reward you won't get, but I think it's worth it. And also, I can see this being a pretty easily missable quest. Whereas the other one, it's like a flare, and it's like, come over here, and yeah. This one could be missable, which means you could do it. So with all that being said, on to the third farm. Last but certainly not least is, of course, the alarm farm, or the car alarm farm, we'll call it. Essentially, it's simple. You walk up to a car, you punch it, it'll have a red hazardous symbol on it telling you that zombies are coming. Now, this is the ideal farm for killing mutated zombies, special zombies that you are going to need to craft some of the most deadly blueprints in the game. Weapons in the game, I guess, but blueprints is how you do need them. Anyway, the simplicity of this one is brilliant, but some of the best places to do this is Beverly Hills. Summon into the main point there, jump over the gate, make your way up to the highway, and basically hit the 2 car alarms. You can ping pong them between these 2. I haven't noticed having more car alarms active is actually better. In fact, the second location we're going to mention, I feel like there's much more zombies and they're much more varied. But I am happy to report that as long as you have met one of the monsters in the story, they will slowly start to trickle out to you. And one of the cool things with this is that you basically don't have to load or deload or die. You basically just keep walking up to the car, hitting it, activating the alarm again. You can do this infinite times, and it's pretty chill. Everything still applies if you're rocking the Fury build like me. You're just netting nothing, you're losing nothing and gaining the world. So I would highly suggest that build just for farming. Build video on the way, by the way. But regardless, the reason why these locations are so good is because they're so close near a base, basically, so that you can go to the workbench, repair your gear, sell your items to the various vendors in both locations. The second location, which I think is the much better location, is on Venice Beach. It's literally right outside. You punch this one singular car. It's the only one you need to hit, and oh my god, are you going to get bombarded by so many other enemies. I found there was a higher quantity of different types of enemies, whereas the other one, it felt like they just didn't throw as many at me. So I would just use this one. This one seems like there was much more enemies, but yeah, this one's short and simple. It is decent for XP, but it's mainly there, I think, to get a ton of resources, things from cloth, flesh, any sort of crafting material. This is the crafting farm, I think, especially for mutated parts. Granted, I still think if you're going to farm specific mutated creatures, you can just open up the map and find the special mutated locations and then just go to them, save, quit, and kill them, because you usually only need 1 or 2. But still, this is a fun farm nevertheless. But I thought I included the last one because I find it to be less hitty than all the other ones, less important. But, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of this video. And no, this is not a cringe YouTuber thing where I'm like, hey, you did it. No, I want to tell you one other thing. A quick other farm. One of the things I've been seeing a lot within the farming kind of Dead Island 2 community comments of videos, etc., is people talking about the best weapon farm. I do not think by any means that these should be called a weapon farm. I mentioned a little bit, but it's a really inconsistent way of getting the weapons that you want. You should look at this as an XP, a resource, or a money farm. Basically, grab all of the items that you're going to get and sell them. Also, again, make sure you're selling your resources, your excess resources like cloth and aluminum and things you're going to get just from killing zombies, and that's what they drop. But sell a lot of the gear you want, and then just ping in between a vendor. Specifically, this vendor I found to be really, really good in Venice Beach, or no, sorry, the pier. Just save, quit, talk to him, save, quit, talk to him, save, quit, talk to him. He has a variety of a lot of crazy gear, and that's how you essentially should farm weapons. A lot of people are like, again, that you'll be doing this farm forever, and you'll get like, you might just get a weapon that you never use and never want. I got a lot of headhunter gear, and I'm happy I didn't use it because it's nowhere as near as fun as Frenzy or Maim. Those two are far better in my opinion. But yeah, so again, I would highly suggest if you want to farm weapons, just do it through the store system. Save, quit, load in, save, quit, load in. This is the vendor I would suggest by the pier. He's so good. He has tons of gear. Definitely go do that one. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I can see you guys again. The next thing I'm going to be showing you guys is an amazing pair of brass knuckles that might be legendary or may not be. We'll talk about it in the next video. Hopefully I can see you there. Bye guys.